Good morning, everybody. Joe Ciaccio here. Boy, howdy. Great weekend. Got 4th of July coming up in another week and a half. We'll be closed on 4th of July, that too, today. So if you got any questions before then, you want to get any extra carriers, want to hear some different things that are going on, please get with Heather or Jay or myself or Henry about Medicare. We'll be more than happy to invite you on to come work with us. Today, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be going over are things you probably already know. Yet the way that my mind processes things is how sometimes I like to go over these calls with you guys, is that the more I hear something, the more it gets tattooed up in my brain. So before I go to make a mistake or I go to move too fast, hopefully one of those little computer files upstairs will open up, put the stop sign out there and say, Joe, you got to do this first before you do this here. And the reason I'm saying that is because clients will give you buying signals. Yes, I sent the card in. Yes, I want a burial plan. And yes, it's something I want. And yes, I've looked for it before, but now I'm ready to do it. And what ends up happening when they start telling you all of these things, subconsciously you say they're gonna buy, and without realizing, you're gonna start shortcutting and deviating from your normal presentation. And what could happen, and has happened, and will happen, is that you're not gonna make a sale because you didn't go through the proper steps to tap on everything, say things the correct way, and just do what you're supposed to do, as if you've got no idea how old they are, you don't know what they can afford. There's a process we must go through. Now, the first process you have to go through is never give a price or discuss any particular carrier that client could go with because you like that carrier until you find out how their health is. If you have no idea how their health is, medications, past history of whatever, you're going to be doing yourself an injustice, because now you're going to start backpedaling and say, oh, you can't have that company. True thing happened to me last week. A client calls me up and says, Joe, I want to add some life insurance to what I have. I said, no problem. I said, how's your health? She said, fine. Nothing's really changed. Everything is going great. I said, okay. I said, tell me about it, because I said, it's been a while since I've seen you. She says, well, I'm still a diabetic. I started it when I was, I don't know, in her 50s. We start talking all that stuff there. What medications you're on? Just the normal ones, high blood pressure, cholesterol. Say, nothing else? No, nothing else. Okay, so we go through the process, comes back as a graded. And I said, what's going on? I said, do me a favor. You come back at a graded. I thought you were going to get an immediate, based on the information you told me. There has to be something that you know about, because I did an AMAM application, and on there they asked her, what does she use the gabapentin for? And I said, Miss Jones, I said, it shows here you use gabapentin. Oh, I only use that as needed. I don't use it all the time. Well, for you newbies and you old guys like me, gabapentin and diabetes, no matter how you shake it and bake it, is considered neuropathy in our field. If you do just gabapentin with no diabetes, you're fine, and vice versa. So even me, who's been doing this for a long time, they're going to pull the wool over your eyes. And I tell you guys, have you taken the medication? Have you stopped taking the medication? And I did do that. What ends up happening is that either they forget to tell you, or they told somebody else all their medications and they weren't given immediate coverage. So my humble heart feels I did it the right way. They may have been either turned down or put a graded or modified, so they thought if they don't say everything to me, they can do it. When a client calls you and says, Joe, I want to get more life insurance. Joe, I need to increase my benefits. To me, that kind of throws up a flag. Why are they calling it? Not many people that we deal with want to say, Joe, I'm dying to buy life insurance. I know I'm going to die one day. I never want to leave my family with a burden. And the cost, don't worry about it, Joe. The sky is the limit. Because, so when somebody calls you and they want to buy more or they want to add on, I'm asking you to take a little bit more time with them to find out a little bit more than what they're really telling you. Okay, let's go over. Today I want to talk about 20 plus items. I just talked about 2 or 3 there that I know for a fact will help you. You may know a lot of these things already, yet if I can get them to where they're blueprinted up in your head when you come across these situations and you know how to bring them up. So the first one, you must set goals on what you want to do. Joe, what do you mean by setting goals? Well, my thoughts on setting goals is how many applications you want to write, what is your annualized premium you want to do for a week period of time, how many doors you want to knock on, how many referrals you want to ask, how many doors you're going to knock on to the left or right of the client, or the door you're knocking on, or the 3 people across the street. The referrals you get, how many referrals you get from the referrals. You almost need a spreadsheet for this here, yet when you start doing it, it's going to kind of start coming a lot easier that you can keep track of. And the beauty about having goals and setting yourself with a thought process on what you want, it's going to keep you in track to make you work a little bit harder. Because what ends up happening, you go to work Monday, you make no sales, say, well, that's okay. You go out to work on Tuesday, you make 3 sales, and let's say it's $1,800 in annualized premium. You go out Wednesday, you make two more sales. Now you're at another $800. You're at $2,600. You're doing this here. You say, man, I'll hit my damn goal. I'm going to go play golf. I'm going to go swimming. I'm going to go lay out by the pool. Can you do that? Yes, you can. You work for yourself. You're an independent contractor working for yourself, yet not by yourself because you have us here. Now, what agents don't think about is that they make a sale, yet they don't factor in the cost of doing business, the cost of leads going up, and what we hate to hear is a chargeback. You have an NSF. The first client's application premium didn't go through for whatever reason. So just because you've hit your goal early in the week, in my opinion, that means to continue the rest of the week and set a higher goal for yourself. Have a higher threshold of what you can do. Years and years ago, premiums were basically the same. They're maybe 15, 20% less 25 years ago. I had a goal to do $5,000 in 1 week. And I said, damn, Joe. Yet, when I set myself to do it, it's amazing that I did it. The first time I didn't do it. The first week I didn't do it. The second week I did it. I had to end up working on a Saturday because I wanted it so bad. So in business and in life, the only thing you get out of it is what you put into it. Goal setting, to me, is one of the most strongest tools you can have. I keep a little card on my sun visor. I call it the money-making card. And I have on there my goal for the week. Let's say your goal for the week is $3,500. First sale you make, let's just even numbers, was $83 a month. That's $1,000 annualized premium. I go to 35 minus the 1,000. That is $2,500 more of premium I need to collect to hit my goal. Next house you go to is $500. So you just keep on subtracting. On another piece of paper, which I keep a little spiral tank notebook on my passenger side, which is my office on wheels, is where I make all my notes. How many referrals did I ask for? How many referrals did I get? How many did I see? How many did I not see? How many sales did I make? These small actions will keep you on track to help you out. You need a daily day timer of what you're going to do every day. You can do it in your phone. Any way you want to do it is your choice. Back in the day before we had all these fancy phones, I used to print out 5 papers every day. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, and if I went out on Saturday, I put it on the bottom of my Friday paper. Because Fridays usually, not all the time, are a little bit slower delivering policies, making phone calls. When you keep track and you look at this paper, the beauty about it is that when Miss Jones said, Joe, can you come back to see me tomorrow at 6:30 on a Thursday night? You say, yes, ma'am, I can. I'll be here. Your husband will be here. I'll go over everything with you. I go to my car. I get out my paper from Wednesday, go to Thursday's paper, put down Mr. and Mrs. Jones, Thursday, 6:30. That's where I got to be. Also have a slot in there throughout the week of when to call the carriers, either for chargeback, NSF, a health question you may have. Set time aside for that there. Set time for you to take a 15-minute break. I've been told before, Joe, you can't take a break. You just got to keep on going. Well, when I'm making money, I don't even want to eat. I skip lunch. I'm on a roll. Yet, every now and then when you're out, you make a full presentation, and they say they want to think about it. You come back with all of those rebuttals and come back with all the proper things, and they say, no, 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 no. Believe it or not, it actually beats you up. It beats you up right here. It just beats you up. So there's times where you need to take like a little 15, 20-minute break during the day. Stop at Home Depot to pick up that bucket you need, or go to Lowe's to pick up whatever you may need, just to kind of break the monotony. Then you jump right back in the game. Your voicemail. This drives me crazy when I call an agent up. Joe, give me a call. I got to talk to you about something. I call them up. Hello, you've reached 12345, and the voicemail is full. Now, think about this. What if you were a client who wanted to ask you a question? I want to change beneficiaries. I want to get more life insurance. I need to change my checking account. And your voicemail is full. One agent said, well, Joe, they can just text me. I said, well, that may be so, yet check your voicemails. Check the greeting you have on your voicemail. Let them know when they're calling you who you are. You give them a company card with your picture on it, your phone number. If you have a website, I know you have an email, then they call you and they were a little bit skeptical about buying. Now they're going to hear you've reached 813-223-2214, and there's nothing personalized and the voicemail is full. I don't know about you, yet me as a client, as a customer, as somebody who just met you, would be a little more apprehensive to want to keep the policy because of that. Okay. What we do is an emotional and a financial deal. You must hit their emotions. What if something happens? Who's going to pay? And they've got to believe what you're telling them. And now you got to wrap it into how much money they can afford. So what we do is kind of like a 6-fold, 7-fold, 10-fold sometimes. Health questions, prescriptions, what do they have, what can they afford. So all this is part of the formula on taking them down the little yellow brick road to get them at the end to say, yes, Joe, that's the one I want. It's an emotional and a financial decision, and you've got to go slow with some people. I believe in eye contact. I believe in looking at people. When I ask them a direct question, in the event you pass away tomorrow accidentally, who will be in charge and who will pay for all your expenses? Look at me now. Now, don't give them no hints. Your daughter, your son, your aunt, your uncle. You're kind of giving them the hot ball for them to hold on to. The only way for them to get rid of that ball and give it back to you is that they got to give you an answer. Now, I just asked you that question. I'm looking dead in the eye. Now, what about this here? Ms. Jones, in the event you were to pass away and you were to die, who would you put in charge of your estate? I'm looking all over the place. What we do takes confidence. It takes guts to knock at a door. And it's usually not that easy to ask somebody that question. Was it easy for me the first time? Hell no. The second time? Hell no. Yet I understood and I realized that the only way for me to be successful is to ask these direct questions. And the skag says, put the porcupine in their hand. And the only way they get rid of that porcupine is to answer your question to give it back to you. Once you feel, and once you feel comfortable doing it, it will become easier and easier and easier for you. Yellow delivery notices. I recommend everybody to have some, get some. We have some here. It's a little small pad you either carry in your top pocket, your purse if you're a young lady. When the person isn't home, put one of those little yellow delivery notices on the door to let them know you were by. When you get back in the car, fold that little lead up. I like to put it in my sun visor on top, so I know when they call me, I know who it is. And depending on my time, I'll put their number in my phone and put down a Y for the yellow and put their name on there, so when it calls, I know that I left them a yellow delivery notice. So we get people to call you back. How many of you guys send out thank you cards, birthday cards, Merry Christmas card, Happy Hanukkah cards, Happy Holiday cards, Happy 4th of July cards? It's going to cost you a couple dollars. Yes, it will. To me, it's a cost of doing business. So my thought process is, if I can run all my leads and I can make 1 to 2 referral sales a week because of me asking a question, who can I share this information with? Those extra sales you make, in my mind, go towards thank you cards, the stamps, Merry Christmas cards, or just a card in general to let them know I'm out there. If you don't stay in front of your client, somebody else will. We need to make sure when we get out of a car, these are the door-to-door sales guys, the belly-to-belly, the face-to-face, the eyeball-to-eyeball. When you get out of your car, the home or the apartment or the mobile home or wherever you're going, you cannot judge that they're not going to buy a lot, or they probably don't need it. I was here before. Do your first thoughts sometimes come true? Yes. Yes, they do. Yet, what happens if you get out of the car, you say, well, they're probably not going to buy much. I was here about 1.5 years ago, and they kind of gave me the runaround. Well, you have no idea why they sent the card in again. Was there an issue? Did somebody pass away? Did their spouse pass away and they had no insurance? So you must look at every lead as an opportunity to make money. Not as a cost of doing business, even though we know it is. It's an opportunity. So let's say, for example, just for a number, a lead costs you $40. If you look at that lead, you go, man, I just blew $40. God almighty, they weren't home. I don't even know why I'm buying leads. Why am I in this business? I look at the lead as this is an opportunity for me to make $600, $700, $800 on that little piece of paper. So when you get your mind wrapped around this is what I can make, instead of saying this is what I'm paying to get that, you're taking your mind out of that negative cost basis to the smiling, happy, I'm going to make a sale, help somebody out process in your mind. That will help you make more money because your mind is more in a positive sense. Now, on a sidebar, you buy 20 leads. You go to 10 houses, you get into 8 of them, you make 6 presentations and no sales. Okay? You have to ask yourself, is that the lead or is it me? Is it my demeanor when I'm in the house? Am I showing any compassion when I'm speaking to the person? Am I coming across to them with knowledge? Am I speaking with them like a professional? Am I letting them feel that I'm here to help them and this is what I do for a living? Because if you get into 8 houses, make 6 presentations, walk out with no sales, hate to be straightforward with you, but I'm looking dead in the eye, you need to practice more. Either was your front door, you weren't giving them the proper information, you were interrupting them, you were going too fast. So my thought is you got to tap those brakes, start looking face to face, and make it kind of like a conversation you're having with these people. Not as you are a dictator and you're there telling them, this is how it works, this is how it works. Let me kind of go over with you how the program works that will be beneficial to you and your family when that sad day comes. Speak with them, don't speak at them.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Postman.
Hello. Thank you.
Okay.
How you doing?
Always have a smile on your face. Always be as happy as you can. Do not assume the sale, as we talked about a minute ago. Do not rush it. Just go slow, go through the processes. Before you give out a price, if I'm face to face with a client, I like to give them an application. I always carry extra applications with me where they can look at them. Do I do it with everybody? No, not everybody. Just depends on the situation. Normally, 75% of the time, if I'm face to face, I'm giving an application so they can run down it with me, even though I got it on my computer. You got to ask the health questions, the prescription medications, the height and weight. I've had agents still to probably a month ago say, Joe, the client was only 2 pounds overweight and they gave him a graded instead of a preferred. Why? Is there anybody you can call over there to fix that for me? The answer is no. I give you, Heather and Jay put all this stuff on the back office. The carriers send you the height weight charts. Most of them give you the RX charts. It is your job to investigate which carrier will fit your client's need. Okay? If your favorite company is American Amicable, and their height weight chart says the most that person can weigh is 277, and they weigh 284, you got to ask yourself, do I put it with them and run a chance of it getting bumped down, or do I go through my height weight charts to see who will accept that person at the 284? The latter is the answer. The name of the game is taking care of your client, doing good business for your client, giving the carrier an application that's going to go through and for us to make money. Have you guys looked at the conventions that the carriers have? Royal Neighbors, Liberty Bankers, American Amicable. They all have carrier trips. Pick a carrier where you can attend the carrier trips. Because when you go, you're going to have a very, very nice time. Look, I'm almost done. Buzzwords. When I first started, certain words just weren't coming to my mind. You know, who will pay, what if, you know, in the event of AD&D for accidental rider. These thoughts just didn't pop in my mind because I was still new at what I was doing. So what I did was that I went and bought some little 3x5 cards, or what you can do is get like a piece of paper out of your copy machine, cut it into maybe 5 or 10 little squares or rectangles, and put those notes on there. Who will pay, what if, immediate benefits, guaranteed. And I used to tape them on my dashboard. And believe it or not, when you're driving, you see it out of the corner of your eye, so you're actually just looking at it, subconsciously looking at it. And when you go into a house, they're going to throw you a curveball. They're going to hit you right in the middle of your nose and they'll push you back. And you say, what do I say? You're going to visualize those little cards on your dashboard. And when you visualize them, you're going to pick one up and it's going to get you back on track. Because if you're not focused in your presentation, and you're not concentrating on what you're doing, and they throw you a left field curveball, it's to throw you out of whack. You're not going to know where to go. So have those little reminders there to bring up in a conversation or to get you back on track. I want you guys to record yourself. I've said this 9 gazillion times. Go into a home, starting at the front door. If you're on a phone sale, get a tape recorder, get something to record yourself. Because what happens is that when you're out by yourself, you are the principal, the teacher, the janitor, the student, you're the lawn man, you're everything. And there's nobody there telling you, you know, Jack, you should have talked about this more. Jack, boy, howdy, you did that just right. Great, great. Jack, I like that transition you made. It was very smooth. But Jack, you didn't discuss enough about this here. Or did you interrupt the person? Were you speaking too fast? Were you not listening to them and answering their question? When you record yourself, it's unbelievable what you're going to pick up and say, I did not listen to Joe. I need to record myself. Okay, I think I got a couple more as long as you guys go. Hold on a minute, don't go nowhere. Okay, here's the last one. I'm a firm believer, no matter what business you're in, to have different streams of income. You buy a final expense lead, that final expense lead is what's going to get you into the house. It's going to kind of refresh their memory. When you do a digital lead, the digital person, the appointment setter you have, should usually ask them, if you have an appointment setter, what is your favorite candy? And the reason you ask that is so when you go to the door, you can say, the person that you spoke to yesterday, the day before, asked you what your favorite candy was, and you told her it was a Baby Ruth bar. It's amazing how that little tool will have the person remember what they said. I'm going to say 90% of the time they're going to say, come on in. Okay? Now, are you happy with the amount of money you make in final expense? I hope the answer is no. I hope the answer is never no. Okay? Because I want you to make more. What can I do to add to my final expense book? What can I add to my checking account? Not to replace final expense, but to add to my checking account. Medicare supplements, Medicare Advantage now have lifetime renewals for you to make money on. Lifetime renewals. What about asking them, do you have any friends or family who drive a Uber or Uber Eats? You can sell them an accidental policy. Not a lot of money, but it's going to pay for a lead or two. Do your children need any type of help? So think about it. If you have final expense coming in as one stream, Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, a little cancer plan, hospital indemnity plan, it's going to cause you to have to learn. It's going to make you have to study. Yet once you start learning these things, it's going to be much easier for you to bring it up in a conversation. Now, when you go to somebody's door, and this is it. It's already 10:30. This is it. When you go to somebody's door, you say, hello, Ms. Jones. My name is Joe. You sent this card in wanting some information, either changes in Medicare, or you want some information about final expense. They'll look at you, I don't remember. See, if I hand you the card, hand the card, pull it back. On the back of all your leads, okay, there's a form that I have that you can go on the back office and it has everything that you can offer. So I'm at a door, or even if you're on the phone with somebody, okay, you sent this card, either you wanted some information on a final expense plan. Was it a burial plan? Was it life insurance? Did you want somebody to review the coverage you have now? Was it Medicare Advantage? Was it an accidental program? Did you want insurance on your children or grandchildren or your great-grandchildren? So just saying one thing, final expense, throw a couple more in there. You got to learn them. So they say, no, I've already bought file and expense, but I've been thinking about maybe some mortgage protection for my house. Or I've already got life insurance for my family. Yeah, I've been thinking about a little file and expense plan. Oh, I didn't know you do Medicare Advantage, Joe. Well, howdy. When did you start doing that there? Educate people. I'll give another Jack Skaggs example. Do not be a secret agent. Tell people what you do and how you can help them. Okay, guys, that's it. Monday morning, oh boy, week before 4th of July. Everybody be happy, be safe, have a great time with your family, friends, and neighbors. Call us if you need us, and we love you and we appreciate you. Hit them hard, guys. Bye-bye.